Good day, ladies and gentlemen. This is Sarel van Grenen, aka Mr. VG, and I love this section of work. Financial mathematics is so beautiful when done correctly. In this specific section of work, we are going to look at payments and withdrawals, specifically timelines. Now, this is a very important section because it's going to build up to two topics later on, one this year, one next year. This year, the one it's going to build up to is sinking funds. And then next year, it's actually going to build up towards what we call annuities. So when we look at a sum like this one, I want you to try it yourself, okay? There are two methods of doing it. I want you to first find a method that works for you. And then I'll come in and I'll show you the method that is preferred in, in all the math circles, okay? So let's go for it. Now, if I look at the sum, it says there, invest 20,000 Rand for 5 years at 9% per annum, compounded monthly. So I'm first of all going to draw up a timeline. So I've got 5 years that I'm looking at. And that 20,000 Rand is right at the beginning. You will see I love to draw timelines. So then they say it's 5 years, but compounded monthly. So my 9%, which is per annum, I've got to divide by 12. And also the 5 years I want to turn into months so that I know I'm working with the same periods, month and months. Next up, it says after 2 years. So I've got to put on my timeline a 2 and I add 8,000 Rand. Some of you instinctively might go and say, but can't we calculate the value after 2 years? And then take that answer plus the 8,000 and calculate it over after 60 months. You can do that, but I'm saying this very clearly, ladies and gentlemen, please don't, okay? Please, please, please don't. The more accepted method, which will lead up towards annuities next year, is calculating, calculating the value of your payments at a specific point. So I'm going to work all of it to a specific point. In this case, it's going to be to the 60. So I'm going to take the 8,000 Rand, get its value at the end. Then I'm also going to take the 20,000, calculate the value at the end, so at 60 months, and then add them together. So slowly but surely, I'm going to start with my formula. A equals to P 1 plus I to the N, and start with the 20,000. Now it runs at 9% per annum compounded monthly for the whole 60 months. So that's why we've got the N being 60 there. But now what about the 8,000? It runs at 9% per annum for how many months? Well, for 36 months, from the 24 to the 60. So for 36 months, it makes life a lot easier. And because it is an additional investment, I'm simply going to add those two together, which leaves me with a total value of 41,782 Rand and 78 cents. That is as simple and as easy as that. Now, what I'm just thinking about as I'm recording now, how much interest did this person earn in this time? Now, think about this. They invested 28,000 Rand, but they end up with 41,000 Rand. That means the difference between the 41,782 Rand and 78 cents and the 28,000 they invested is 13,782 Rand and 78 cents. No matter where they invested it, no matter for how long, they got 13,000 Rand worth of interest. As simple and as easy as that. So always calculate how much those values are worth right at the end, and then add and subtract them. It will make life easier, especially when you look at a bigger sum like this one, as well as later on when we work with changing interest rates. So try this one yourself, which now has 3 events happening: initial investment, after 3 years, and then again after 6 years, and go for it. Try this yourself. First of all, I need my timeline with the 3 important dates. Okay? Starting, I've got to get everything into months because my interest is compounded monthly. The 4,500 is at the beginning. I put a plus in front of it because I invest. Then after 3 years, there's an additional investment of 5,000 Rand. So again, plus 5,000. Then I'm investing, or I'm withdrawing, so minus 2,000 Rand. And all I'm going to do is I'm going to get the value of each of them right at the back here by the 96 months. So first of all, I'm going to take the 4,500. It is going to grow with interest for the full 96 months. Next up, I'm going to take that 5,000 and it is going to grow for 60 months at the interest rate. So I'm going to take that 5,000, let it grow at interest rate of 9% per annum, compounded monthly, for 60 months. Now, that 2,000 Rand, for how long will that grow interest for? A full 2 years. In other words, 24 months. And what must I do? I'm going to add the 5,000, I'm going to subtract the 2,000, and end up with a total value of 14,655 Rand and 72 cents. Ladies and gentlemen, this is as simple and as easy as this. I want to encourage you to always work to a point, and then at the end, add or subtract to get the values. Now, the reason for this, again, just to reiterate, is number one, that your next year, grade 12 knowledge, this is where we're leading up to. Secondly, when we look at changing interest rates, for instance, this kind of knowledge is going to help you a lot. There is a third reason that I'm just thinking about now as I'm recording, which is if you have an X somewhere in there, so they don't tell you the actual value of how much you invest or withdraw. If you go at the step by step, meaning going from 0 to 36, 36 to 72, and 72 to 96, it is going to become a very, very difficult sum to calculate. Let's say if that, oh my goodness, if that 2,000, for instance, was an X, okay? You will struggle to calculate that X if you don't go at it to a single point. So ladies and gentlemen, in our next video, we're going to look at changing interest rates. So have a beautiful, amazing rest of your day. Keep well. Cheers.